Throughout the Lenten season, we began this journey 4 short weeks ago, talking about the possibility of simulating the life of Christianity, simulating Christianity. And we talked about baptism and its initiation. You're initiated into a particular culture of worship. And then last week we talked about grace and sacraments. Where do we go from here? Well, to a certain degree, what I want to talk about is the whole point. Most of this series has been about things that I was surprised by when I was in the seminary, and they made a big difference in my life. And I'd like you to benefit from them. This is one of them. There is a doctrine in the Catholic Church called merit. It was a particular ire to the reformers in the Protestant Reformation. And for good reason, its radical misunderstanding makes it look like you can earn God's love and earn your way into heaven. Now, of course, the ability to earn God's love and earn your way into heaven is a heresy that had been decried since long before the birth of the reformers. Like something like 300, 400, 600, 580. For 1,000 years before the Reformation, it had been taught that you cannot earn your salvation. Whatever merit is, it is not a way to earn God's love. In fact, when you look up merit, it says justification and grace cannot be merited. Justification comes through baptism, and grace comes through the sacraments, all 7 of them. However, merit is the plan. When you do good works in sanctifying grace, God rewards those decisions and those actions. This is what we call merit. Now, by way of analogy, some of you have been the beneficiaries of this. Some of you have done this. When a child picks out a gift for his or her parent, the child may wrap up the gift and give it to that parent. But, of course, here's the funny thing. That gift is bestowed with the parent's own funds. Maybe. One of those silly gifts you make when you're very small, like the little macaroni art. That might be a true gift. But most of the gifts that one is able to give one's parents as a child come from the other parent. And so the child reaps the reward of having given the gift, even though it didn't really cost the kid anything. And now that is you and me. Why does that happen? God, according to St. Thomas, likes to operate according to secondary causes. This is a very unimportant concept in Aristotle, and St. Thomas makes it very important. In Aristotle, he talks about primary and secondary causes, meaning what is the real cause, and then what is the cause by maybe say means. You would say something like this. When you write with a pencil, what causes the writing? The pencil or you? And if you weigh that question according to its full premises, well, you can't say that you wrote without the pencil. But if you ain't there, that pencil's not doing any writing either. And yet somehow you need both. And at the level of grace, it is even more mysterious than that. Because Jesus Christ worked all of the miracles that are ever going to be worked in his death and resurrection on the cross. And yet he still has Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John write their Gospels. And Paul write his letters. And he sends the apostles to preach to the 4 corners of the world because God likes to work through secondary causes. And that's all the doctrine of merit is. The whole purpose of Christianity is so that the divine life might burn in you. If you come to the Easter Vigil, That part in the very beginning where the candle comes in and that flame is divided, that's supposed to be the Holy Spirit burning in each of us. That flame would burn in you and you would do something with it. That you would go out and bear fruit. See what I mean? This the whole plan. This is the whole plan. This is all of Christianity. It's not a social organization. It's not the new best version of the Red Cross, where we go out and we do, but go out and do good is the plan. It is the fruit that you bear. All of this has been moving in one direction. We are a church that doesn't try and eliminate poverty. We work as good as we can with it, because those are our brothers and sisters, and they deserve love and peace and consolation. But to say we're going to eradicate evil, that's not going to happen. Not only is it not going to happen, but it's actually already been accomplished. And that's why our primary mission is evangelization. Everything else is secondary. Not unimportant, just secondary. Go do good. Bear fruit. This is one of the most practical doctrines in the whole of Catholicism. Love your neighbor as yourself. This is why you want to stay in a state of sanctifying grace. Not merely because the reward that merit is at the end of life. No, that's the secondary effect. But this is what Jesus Christ has given to us to do. Go do good. Listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit. It's a very difficult thing to do. We're not very good at it. We're very good at rationalizing that the Holy Spirit might want us to do the thing that we already want to do. That rationalization is very cute and very easy for us to do. But instead, listen. 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 Listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit speaking from deep within you. Because there is much good that Jesus still wants to work out in the world, and you and I are his hands and feet. Again, our primary role as brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ in the church is evangelization. Spread the good news of Jesus Christ. To make disciples. Go do good. It's said in the first century, they understood the difference between the Christians and literally everybody else because of the way that they loved one another. And I don't know if that's true today. But there's no reason why it does not have to be that way. And once again, wouldn't it be lovely if the whole world got set on fire again from this parish because we loved each other in such a way that it was so different than everything else, that it was undeniable that the Holy Spirit was at work here and God's love burned within us. Wouldn't it be awesome? But that doesn't have to be a dream. That's not something that we make. That is something God is already trying to work here with you and I. You and I are just epically bad at cooperating with the Lord. But it doesn't need to be that way. So, brothers and sisters, go. Live as best you can in the state of sanctifying grace. Make sure the sacraments are part of your life. Try and live in union with God so that we can go out into the wider world, bring the message of Jesus Christ, and transform the world around us by our love. This is the plan. This is it. This is what we're working towards. That you and I would take the grace God gives us and go outside and change the world with it. Because God already wants to change the world. It's just you and I who have still yet to cooperate. Is this open-ended? Yes. I'm sorry. That's the way the Holy Spirit likes it. If you don't like that, tell him. He will definitely listen. I'm sorry. He will definitely hear you. He will probably not listen. He will probably come to you in some version of, "My child, thank you for saying that." Here's what I still want you to go do. Go. What has always been at stake here is everything. Everything. Our brothers and sisters out there who do not know Jesus, or, God forbid, are caught up on something far less than Jesus and believe that it is him, deserve to hear the authentic message of Jesus Christ, and you are equipped to bring it to them. Now go do it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love the Lord your God with your whole heart, mind, and soul. Live out the full breadth of the spiritual and corporal works of mercy. You are equipped to do all of those things. God has already given you all of the things you need. Now, my friends, let us cooperate. Because one day we're going to enter into heaven. You know, many of you will be familiar with the practice in the ancient world of withholding or delaying baptism until the person was already dying. So I go into heaven squeaky clean. And that was, I don't want to say condemned, but that practice was, I don't have the right word for it, poo-pooed. Just don't do that. Why? Because you would walk into heaven a veritable child, not in a good way, in the order of grace, instead of as a mature Christian. You walk in with no merit. And most of all, you deny yourself grace in this life. Okay, none of us have chosen to do that, or was chosen against our will, whatever. But now we have grace. Now we have the sacraments. Now you have the help you need. Go. Go and bring the love of Jesus Christ to the four corners of the world. This is our mission, not for anybody else to do. Every one of us has been given a role to fill and tasks to do and people to love. Now let's go do it.